What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Coach's Corner. And today, my guest is Sharon Sievert. She is the author of the groundbreaking book, The Superpower of Balanced Leadership in Unbalanced Times. That is definitely something we need right now. And it's actually part of a 5-book series that addresses the 6 powers that transform leaders into individual people fearlessly, follow through both good and bad times. She's also the CEO of Core Coaching and Consulting, and it's a premier managing consulting firm. So I've read all your little goodies, and there's too much more, which I'll get into as we move through this interview. Um,
Thank
I
you
like,
so much. That's a very warm, welcoming uh, introduction. Thank you for that.
yes, and thank you for being on. I'd like to find out who people are beyond the titles, the accolades. So why don't you tell everybody how you got here?
Okay, how did I get here? Okay, so
Meaning like where were you born? How did you decide to do what you do? Kind of
excellent.
walk us through that.
Excellent. Okay, I am here on the North Shore of Boston, and I actually was born in the Boston area, even though I don't sound like it because I grew up in the Midwest, in Minnesota and Iowa. Where are you from?
Los Angeles, West
Los
Coast,
Angeles, yeah.
opposite coast.
The opposite coast, but a beautiful coast nonetheless. So I live literally right on the ocean, and am very lucky in that way. And I have clients from all over the world. I am also an Irish citizen, for example, because my families came from there. And like many people who were kind of forced to leave their country, they now do the return. So for people who had to leave Italy or Armenia, Ireland because of the famines, they have you come back. So I have that. So I'm part of the Boston Irish. What can I say? And always rooting for our teams because Boston's a big sports town, as you know, and
Right.
and and
And
and
it's
it
our rivalry.
really crazy. They go absolutely crazy. So my apologies to the rest of the country for that. So that's how I came to be where I am now. My work is with business owners and senior leaders in organizations. And I help them become fit in a different way than you normally talk about. So so I'm excited to talk to you and your listeners about this.
So you have 6 concepts that you teach when you are in your leadership. Is it a class? Is it a series of classes, or is it a just
Yes,
ongoing coaching?
it's ongoing coaching, and it is cohorts of people who come in from organizations and do this work together. Often towards the end of launching a new organization or learning in their companies about how to do this emerging form of leadership. We really want the emerging leaders or the traditional leaders who want some more sparkle in their lives. And this holistic, healthy system helps them get there.
Mhm. Talk about balanced leadership in an unbalanced world. We just came off a whirlwind of a election season.
Don't,
Let's say
please,
I'm one of your
please don't make me go there.
clients.
Please, please.
I won't. We're not going to do politics. But
Thank you very much.
let's say I'm one of your clients, one of your CEO clients, and I'm like, okay, we've got a lot of things coming up, a lot of changes coming up. What kind of advice would you give me going into 2025?
Well, one of the things we want to do is have people rethink things and restructure things from the inside out. So I was just working with someone a minute ago, and we were looking at how we redefine the core of this organization. So we want to expand the core, we want to make it bigger. So who are we? Why are we in existence? So these are the great questions for people to ask themselves and then ask themselves again as they grow because they become larger and larger,
Mhm.
and while not losing their identity, their
Sure.
values, the principles they have. So always have people go back to that core, that center of the wheel, and really make sure they have that one nailed because other stuff is so much easier. It's surprising how many businesses do not have a well-structured, strong core. And then when trouble comes along in these unbalanced times, this trouble's coming, they're going to be really thrown off. And that means money, that means unnecessary hardship for their people, all that stuff. So from
Mhm.
their core, we have them do their vision and their mission. So it's all aligned, all working together. The relationships have to be restructured, and the structure itself needs to be reformed. That works then if we keep aligning it. It's like having a healthy body where the organs are talking to each other.
Mhm. What in your mind defines a strong leader?
In my mind, it's someone who has stands in the hub of their power and has power internally that radiates out. So people want to be with that. I'm not stepping on your toes. I'm not into your power. I have my own and I'm holding my center like this. Leaders have typically been trained to have command over and control over others. I think that is a system that I hope we are evolving out of, that we really have people who are standing in their power and don't have to force others to do the right thing. So that gives you a lot of space. If you're holding your power and not, it's like when I kind of grew up on Tai Chi and karate. And what you do, you hold that center. You're not in anybody's face and you're not backing off from the bullies, right? So you're just holding your
Yes.
power. And it's amazing. I've been in a lot of political conflicts and in organizations that have been controversial. I've had death threats from being in these things. I ran a family planning center in the
Oh
second
boy.
most Catholic county in the United States. I had death threats, okay? So I had to learn how to how to not just run and hide under tables. And so, I'm a little Irish woman, and so I'm 5'3.5" if I stand really tall. But I had to be able to hold my power against people who were literally threatening me, who were coming at me. And it's
Wow.
amazing what you can do if you're simply holding your center and your power. You're not in anybody's space. So that gives them room to not attack you. You're not hiding away because then, of course, they're going to go after you. So that's a little bit more about me than most people know.
Fascinating. Uh, what do you think drives companies to want to get better? Obviously, they want to increase their profit. They want to keep their employees being successful. Beyond that, what do you find in your coaching that is another driver of these big companies that come see you?
Yeah, there are companies and there are leaders who want their companies to be more healthy. And there is a drive now on, and a lot of literature that's starting to talk about what is organizational health. My next book is going to be about that. What is organizational health? And you see that in terms of everybody's been in an unhealthy organization. Everybody knows when it's bad,
Yes.
right? Everybody knows when people are getting sick and they're not
Yes.
showing up for work and they're hating each other. So we
Yes.
we know what it looks like when it's unhealthy. So what it looks like when it's healthy is that people want to come into work. They smile at each other. They're helping each other out. They're looking for ways to make sure everyone's successful. So this is what I try to do with organizations, and this is what I think the future is. If we think of organizations as if they were alive, if they were like a human body, then we have a
Interesting.
totally different paradigm. So it's not a machine that gets better oiled. It's not a cardboard box where you dump people. It's not, so it's not neutral and it's not hard. It's a living system. And there's lots of people in the world who start treating organizations as living systems. That's the
Mm,
emerging, wave we want to be on.
gotcha.
It feels different. It really feels different. We've all been there, right?
Mhm. Absolutely. I love that your focus is on health. Now, obviously, when I talk about health, it's more physical, and we do mindset, so it goes internally. What do you mean when you mention health?
Thank you for asking because I have really strong feelings about this. So clearly, when we talk about the core, that's your spiritual health, your essence. I get to be who I am. I'm self-actualizing. I get to go into a workplace and they let me be who I am, and I do these inventions for them, that sort of thing. They're letting me do my damn work, right? The mental thing is the mindset you talk about. What are the beliefs? Are they healthy? Are they functional? Are they making you rise or are they bringing you down? So all of us are creating health or ease or dis-ease in our organizations. We're all doing it. We're all participating in it. You know, what did you just think about that guy who went by? I hit you. You're causing ill health in the organization. And if you say hello to your people, you're causing good health. So that's the mindset that I am actually influencing this body that I live in, this organizational body I live in. And then, of course, there's the will, that's the fire to get action done. People are not keeping me from acting. The organization lets me act. Sometimes that doesn't happen, right? You get
Hmm.
stopped from acting. The
Yes.
emotional health, your emotions are, are you into a lot of drama, mishigas? She said
Never
that,
any
they told me to
drama.
do that. Right? That's emotional health. It really affects people, right? Or I can trust the people I work with. I know they got my back. And then the structural health, which is we would talk about with the physical body, and the organization makes people physically ill or physically healthier. They just do. And so this is something that the organization, if it pays attention to, it's not going to have as many sick days. It's not going to have people just saying, just work, not really working, that sort of thing. So if they have that. And then the last form of health is our sense of connection to something bigger than us. So maybe your business has a real mission in the world, and we feel connected to it, and we want to really make sure it's successful. You can also think about it as a connection to the divine, or a connection to your tribe, or a connection to that. Albert Einstein asked the big question, which is, um, do we live in a friendly universe? And so your health is related, I think, directly to the answer you have for that question.
Huh.
Yeah, so
Well,
those are the forms of health that I look at for organizations and for my clients.
so generally speaking, in business that's male dominated, what was it like your first time going in front of a bunch of men who thought they knew everything and you were coming to show them a better way?
Oh, you mean like yesterday? No, this is
Right?
this, yeah, it happens to all of us all the time. Actually, it's very interesting. I actually tend to work with business owners and senior leaders who are women or men of color. That's my
Mm,
clientele because we are both the outliers and I think the hope for the future, in my opinion, my humble opinion. No one asked, but that's my opinion. Because I think that the people who have not necessarily fit in the old system or benefited from the old system as much are the ones who are going to create new economies. They're the inventors, they're the new business owners, they're going to invent new economies for the future. So,
mm,
all my life, this is something that I've dealt with. And what I do is I go to my tribe. I go to people who are similarly treated, and we just do our work. We
mhm.
can, so I have all kinds of people in those definitions, the demographics, who I'm helping navigate big systems, and they're doing very, very well. But a lot of them need to step out of the old system and have their own businesses.
I think that's cool. You can control what's happening in that
You can,
scenario.
yeah, you have a great boss if you're it.
Now, now I know you said you. I'm not going to ask you a political question, but it's kind of political, just because it's the environment. There are a lot
Oh
of
Lord,
people
yeah.
who are.
I'm drinking now. Okay, sorry.
They'll go
Okay.
ahead and have a drink. It's fine. It's
Oh,
the
this
day
is
before
water.
the
Just
holiday.
kidding. Just
Go
kidding.
for it. Um, what do you think about these folks who are attacking, diversity, equity, and inclusion, which includes women, which includes, minorities, or what do you think about that? And how do you plan on fighting that?
So it's a really stupid thing from an evolutionary standpoint to attack diversity because
Sure.
diversity is what makes the living systems evolve. Diversity has demonstrated its financial value 1,000 times over. So some people, people don't necessarily like facts. So you just go with the people who do like the facts and you work around it because we are the evolutionary edge, the people who have diversity of thought, diversity of opinions, diversity of certainly of race and of gender, that these, evolution teaches us that those are the ones who survive. So the dinosaurs are going to do what the dinosaurs do, okay? And God bless them and God help them. But the folks that I'm working with, we, we're on the move. The first political guy that I worked for, Elroy Erie in Minnesota, state senate, and he always used to said, if they're going to get me, they're going to get me in the ass because I'm on the move. And that's the
I
way
like
I
that.
feel.
I like
I
that.
am on the move. Yes.
I love that. So you're a coach. So who is your mentor? Who is someone that you feel like kind of guided your path and put you on your way?
Oh, wow. I have done an awful lot of studying of world religions. So a number of my mentors are people who are leaders in these religions from around the world.
Hmm.
I'm a big fan of all kinds of these people and have learned from them. People who've been politically imprisoned, people who've been, all these people are guiding lights. Of course, Martin Luther King is a great one that we can think about today, since we were just talking about diversity. Um,
Hmm.
you know, the uh, the arc of justice is long, but how does that finally end? But it's coming our way, yeah.
It bends.
Yeah,
Yeah, the arc
I
of
do.
justice
Yeah.
long,
So
but
I'm
it
a, so
bends.
there are all kinds of people out there in the world doing really good work. So, I like the current Pope. I like the leaders of the Spiritist movement in Brazil. I love Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to death. I mean, I just love them. These are people who uplift others. So my mentors that I look for are these people who are helping humanity evolve, who are looking at the higher possibilities for humanity, despite the difficulties. So if we have a Nelson Mandela who tells us how to work through political oppression, if we have, all these people from all over the world are there, there's many, 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 many people moving us forward.
I love it. So you've written many books. What is the most recent? What do you want people to take away from that after reading it?
Well, the most recent book that it's done is called the leadership book that you mentioned earlier. So the superpower of balanced leadership in unbalanced times. I'm currently writing a book called Balanced Leadership, Healthy Organizations, and You. That's the new book that I'm in the process of writing now, which takes the balanced leadership, says, okay, this is how you create the organizations you want for the future in the living systems model. So we are really looking for the emerging leaders who say, that makes sense to me. I want to
Hmm.
run my department that way. I want to run my new business that way in a growth mindset, a model of growth. Because living systems grow, machines do not, cardboard boxes don't, right?
Hmm.
But in terms of this holistic health approach, this is a great, we can talk about being fit after all the stuff we've been going through, right? Organizations being fit as we move into the future.
So on that note, what do you think of artificial intelligence and how do you think it's affecting your industry?
Oh, I love AI. And I have I have a particular colleague of mine that I'm meeting with actually after with you. And this is a client of mine who's done brilliantly and he's just done so well. And now I'm making him a partner with me because he has started to really master AI and we are developing guidebooks for our leadership training and guidebooks for people who are in career work. And we have guidebooks that are AI generated, which means as soon as someone touches that book that's theirs, it starts to evolve with them. So we're so excited about this. So we're really embracing what AI can do. And next tomorrow it can do more, and the day after that it can do even more. So we are galloping to bring this into our system. So So we have high touch, which is me working with folks, the high tech, the AI. We're incorporating high community. I'm building community with all of our leaders so they can help each other out, and they do. So these are
Mm,
some of the things that we are trying to do with our brand, with the work we do.
I love that. So in your courses, is it like a curriculum or is it ongoing training as the companies evolve?
Both are available
Okay.
to people, so we can do these discrete things. So one of my other colleagues and someone I'm coaching, so what happens is that I train people and we love each other and then we become partners. So one of those people is up there in the French Alps, and we're going to have a summit that he is putting together for European leaders. We hope June, might be a little bit more into the summer. We'll see. But the AI
Mhm.
guidebook will be ready for them then, and that'll be discrete. That'll be like a 4-day summit. We have ongoing work also, and then we have things where we go right into the company, just do the work, and then, you know, they have us around as much as they want.
Yeah. So let's say I saw this episode and I said, "Oh man, I really like Sharon. I like what she's doing." How does the process work of getting to work with you? Is there an interview process? Do you have to fill out a form? How does it work?
Yeah, so people can contact me on LinkedIn and get into my Calendly. God bless Calendly. Talk about good AI, right? And we just have a conversation. We have a clarity conversation. We see if there's a fit. We see if I can address the needs of this person or if I need to send them on to someone else. So someone who's coming in for themselves or coming in for their team, we talk and we decide where we want to go with that. So getting in touch with me on LinkedIn is a great way to go.
Mhm. Do you find a lot of your clients are on LinkedIn?
I have a lot of people on LinkedIn. The truth of the matter is that people, all my people refer their people to me. This is almost to my whole career has pretty much been, you know, it's been a neighborhood development where
Hmm.
someone says you have to work with Sharon or you have to work with Sharon, and it's come from friend to friend, friend to friend. I get passed along that way.
That's good. You get a lot of referral business. That's some of the best business
Absolutely. Yeah,
because
that's
they
a
know
great way
what
to
to
go.
expect. Yeah, they know what to
Yeah.
expect going in, and it's less
And then,
hassles.
and they become part of the community. So my intention is to have an international community of people who help each other out. That is our goal. It's already started. It's already been developing. People really help each other out. So not only do they work with me, but they also get the community. And that has turned out to be a massive bonus.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, it
I
really
love it.
is. People need, really
Um,
need that. They just, it's such a heart-centered thing. Yes.
so one of the things I coach people about is balancing out their time.
Mm.
You know, how do you balance out work to family to things you like to do? I'm sure you
With a
have a
great
busy
deal, with a
schedule.
great deal of effort. Yes, with a great deal of intention and a great deal of effort. Yes, this is something that everybody struggles with. My sense is that I tend to block out time that is
Yeah.
sort of, barbed wired. This is my time for writing. Do not go there. I need silence. And then my time for clients, when I'm on the phone or in Zoom with clients, nothing else exists. The world
Okay.
stops.
So you
Yeah,
do
it
a lot of
totally
time
stops.
blocking.
Yeah, I do a lot of time blocking, and that works very, very well for me. Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
when I'm
And
with my guy, everything else stops.
that no phones, no
No phones, no, yeah,
distractions.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Phones are off. Yes.
Okay. So we know what you do. Tell us a little bit about your family.
I have a wonderful family. So I have three remaining siblings. I had one sibling, John, who died early on, and we talk to each other every Sunday. We have our call because we are spread around the world, and I love, 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 love my siblings. They're fine people. On our phone call, we also have an aunt of mine, my father's sister, who joins us still in the siblings call. She's
Nice.
92.
Wow. Okay.
She's great on Zoom, and so we see her more than her other family does. So I have I have wonderful siblings. And I had beautiful parents. This is the ring that my father gave my mother for their 25th anniversary. I wear it pretty much wherever I go to keep them in spirit with me.
I love that.
Myra, in fact, on my LinkedIn today, I tell the story of our family's first Thanksgiving, which was in
Mm.
Myra. My mother met Jack and took him home for Thanksgiving, and it was during
How'd
World War
that
II.
go?
And that
Well,
was
it obviously
wonderful.
worked out well, but how
And
was it with the
obviously it worked
family?
out well. And it's really
Yeah.
relevant to today. We were talking for the day before Thanksgiving. It's relevant because this was in the middle of World War II. My father was at Harvard being one of these 90-day wonder officers being trained. He and two of his friends were having one of these pathetic little turkey dinners at one of the restaurants. My beautiful mother and beautiful aunts came in and saw these pathetic guys and took them home for leftovers. Okay.
Oh boy.
And so I said to my mom, Mom, you picked dad up in a bar? And that's the family story. And what she would say is that they went during the war, all of Boston was open to the soldiers and the sailors who were just about to be shipped out to war. And they took them home to give them a great meal. So that's the way my family began, is that they took these poor soldiers, these guys home, and the family, the Irish family, have more whiskey and have more food and have more, and had a wonderful time. And that's the way Boston was during World War II. Isn't that lovely? So that's our family started with that welcoming story of strangers.
I love it. I love it. All right. So my last question to you, and I always ask this to coaches, what's one thing you can give or share with someone from a lesson learned in your past that helped you really take things to the next level in your life?
I would say the lightning moment for me was when my brother John died. That's the sibling I mentioned who had passed
Mhm.
on. And everyone in my family decided at that moment, because it was an accident that happened, that life is too short, and pretty much everyone in my family changed their lives. So I left the group health plan that I had developed, and I went on a very long journey to come to where I am now. My brother changed, my sister changed what they were doing, and we all decided that life was too short and
Mhm.
that we needed to do, I guess, to do what we're here to do. There's no more messing around. So when people come to me, I have a real urgency that they do what they are here to do in this world. So, what are their gifts? What is it that they feel passionate about? And I want to just take away the brush that's in front of them and help them do that. I want to make sure that they achieve their destiny. You know,
I love that. That's good. So you're very passionate about your work and what you do, and it shows. Yeah. Um,
thank you. Yeah.
where can people
Or
find you?
some people would
Oh,
call it some people would call it being a pain in the ass and just
oh
stop
well,
pushing me.
yeah. Listen, you have to stand on what you believe in and go for what you think is important.
Thank you.
Where can people find you and if they want to work with you and get in contact? Besides LinkedIn, you mentioned that.
Right. So they can also go to my website, which is corecoachingconsulting.com. And they can get a free leadership report or a free career report. They can get free, articles that we have and just help yourself, help yourself, help yourself. And so they can also contact me through that. LinkedIn is a little bit more direct in some ways than the form on the website, but free gifts really help yourself to those.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Well, I thank you for coming on our little show here, our little space in the net, and sharing your story and what you do. We need more people like you doing what you do. That's for sure. We need better
Thank you.
leadership.
Thank you so
So,
much.
everybody, we'll be back next week with another great guest, and we'll talk soon. So
Thank you very much.